What's up, Jesters, and welcome back to the channel.
What's going on, folks?
Throughout this generation, our generation of television shows we used to watch as kids, over the years, many of them have become nerfed.
Oh, yes.
And when I say that, when we had our television shows, they were great. They had all the action, the violence, if you want to call it that.
Well, that and most of the time they had a moral to the story.
Yeah. Sometimes it got a little dark, but it was more of a
learning experience.
Yeah. You can learn lessons and whatnot.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like...
It's just goofy.
Yeah, it's not even... It's too wacky.
It's just...
And again, some cartoons, they're cartoons. Sometimes it's wacky. But we have wacky and we have serious cartoons. Such as for us, the Animaniacs.
Oh,
wacky.
Yes.
More serious, Teen Titans.
Teen Titans. G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
That was a good action cartoon. And you also learn stuff. At the end, they had this little skit where they told you, like stuff like how to be safe. And they would say, no, now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
Yes.
Stuff like that. It entertained and it also taught.
Yeah.
The cartoons nowadays, they entertain. They, some of them aren't even entertaining. Some of them are just ridiculous. But it's hard to see any kind of lesson being taught in them. They're
mostly too loud, too.
Yeah. Like cartoons when we were growing up, you had He-Man.
Yeah.
But not the new kind they've come out with, the regular He-Man, the original.
Yeah, original.
We had all the original cartoons. He-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, that was a good one. G.I. Joe, Transformers,
yeah.
The original Transformers. And they were just so much better.
And even in some of the wacky cartoons, you had some lessons learned in that as well.
But no, don't get me wrong. We also had our cartoons that were kind of off the beaten path and, like Ren and Stimpy.
Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead. Like you said, Animaniacs.
I just had one, but I forgot it.
We had
Ed and Eddie.
Ed and Eddie, yep.
Cat Dog.
Cow
and Chicken.
Oh, God. Cow and Chicken and Ren and Stimpy were two of the... they'd almost... Nowadays, they'd almost frighten little kids.
They were extreme. But our generation was used to that.
Yeah, it was entertaining us. It was funny. It was,
Yeah, because we were kids. We didn't read into the innuendos that most, cartoons had.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's like you get on Facebook and you see all these things about how, I've seen it a few times. I can't believe they got away with this in the cartoons.
Yeah.
Saying this in a cartoon or showing this in a cartoon or whatever. We didn't even pay attention to it.
There's been many a time where I'll look back on shows and watch them just to relive my childhood.
Yeah.
That I've spit out certain kinds of drinks and food, hearing what they had said in the show. It's like, what?
Yeah. It's like, but, nowadays it's just nitpicking every little thing.
Down to the very core.
Yeah. It's, they're shows, they're TV shows. They're meant to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Not be nitpicked and say, okay, well, because this show shows this all the time, it's bad for the kids. No.
It's like what they did with the two examples, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
The original cartoon, they actually use the weapons in fighting.
Yep.
A lot of damage, explosions, da-da-da-da. Now, only one of them uses a weapon, it's Donatello, which is a stick. He doesn't even hit them. He just kind of trips them, and then, that's about it.
And see, and the thing about it is that, yeah, they used weapons like Leonardo had his sword or swords, Raphael the size, you know, but they never actually really showed blood. They never
Yeah,
showed,
there's no stabbing involved.
Yeah, they never really showed in-depth things about that.
And if anything, when they fought, the foot soldiers, they just used karate and, physical contact. The robots, yeah, they used weapons.
Yeah, that was when they showed, the robot getting destroyed because it got hit by the sword or, whatever.
If you want a comparison based off of that compared to Mortal Kombat, I think the Ninja Turtles were fine.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And even then, we had, Mortal Kombat back then with video games at the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then that movie came out, but even then, that wasn't even that bad.
No, that was not.
It was nowhere near like the video games.
No. Heavens, no. Now, the new Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That's gotten closer to the video games.
Yeah, they're getting closer to it.
And that was good. That was really good. I can't wait for them to come out with the next one. I hope they do.
Yeah. Another example of being nerfed is the Teen Titans.
Oh, God.
The original Teen Titans, you had, drama and story involved, this giant story arc between different villains and the heroes. And you learned lessons through it, too, because of certain individual circumstances that the characters developed in.
Yep.
Now, if you look at Teen Titans, it's what the hell happened? There's not even a story to it.
And the villains, I mean, what was it? I've never actually, I'm going to go and be honest with you, I have never actually watched a full episode of any of the new Teen Titans.
It was too annoying for me, too.
Just from seeing off the commercials for it and stuff, a big villain made out of a bubble, pink, so I'm guessing maybe a bubble gum blown into a villain. I mean, because he gets hit in the butt and air starts coming out and they make a joke about it. I mean, what is this?
Yeah, it's not even...
What's the point? I mean...
If you compare Slade from the original Teen Titans...
Yes.
How serious that was.
Him and Robin, that was...
Yeah, that was a huge story arc.
Yeah.
Great. And then that, the bubblegum guy.
I mean,
it's hardly even anything.
But it's like he was saying, they actually had storylines.
Yeah.
It was actually something to follow.
And so a lot of the shows, you can actually, kids at the time looked up to certain characters.
Oh, definitely.
They were like little role models.
Just like, you had kids looking up to Robin, just like you had them looking up to Batman and Superman. And, you had kids looking up to Beast Boy. He was a great character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get they are kids in the show, but that doesn't mean they act like kids.
Exactly. They're not that little. Yeah, they're not that little kids.
That's why they're called teen Titans.
Yes.
When you were all teenagers, from what I gathered in my high school time, none of you were like that.
At least I hope not, anyways. Yes. By the time you get into your teenage years, you're...
well past the whole...
Well, most
yeah.
people are.
Slight 1% of people are still making noises for no reason. But I'm sure they're living their best life.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They're in their own worlds over there. Yeah, I mean, and they've done it with everything. And, I mean, they've changed the cartoons so much.
I recently just found out they're making a new Barney.
Oh, I think I saw that on Facebook.
It's not a guy in a suit either. It's an animated thing.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Why change it? When we grew up as little kids, we loved Barney.
I didn't.
You didn't like Barney?
I really did not.
Why not?
No, because I just didn't.
The only thing
I don't know what it was about him, but I didn't like it.
For some odd reason, Barney was fine when I was a kid. The only thing that was odd to me was Baby Bob. She kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Sesame Street, I love Sesame Street whenever I was a kid.
They even tried to change that too.
Yes.
With the vegetable monster.
That and the Count. they've taken away so much of the count.
Yeah.
You know, back when Sesame Street was really good, which now I'm gonna say this, but before Elmo, because once Elmo got into it, it started changing.
Yeah.
Elmo's a good character.
Yeah.
But before Elmo, the count had, whenever it was his little time on the show, he'd be at his castle. It'd be thunder and lightning in the background, and all this stuff. And now it's like, I think I've seen a couple episodes where he just pops up as a white background.
Yep.
He tells you the number of the day. He counts, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
then it goes with the other characters. It's just.
Next thing you know, they're going to make Oscar the Grouch into not living in a trash can to Oscar the Happy living in a house. No,
I mean,
don't.
Yeah, I understand changing some things because people wind up leaving the show because they get too old, can't do the voices, whatever.
Right. It's different.
But don't just change it for, change something just for the sake of changing it. That's just.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Exactly. There you go.
Hollywood needs to learn that. And for however many years Hollywood's been in business, it has failed to learn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some things don't need to be new and fresh and changed and all that. There's a reason why the fan base loved it the way it was.
Exactly.
If you change it, they're going to go, well, it might be good. It's not good. Don't change it. There's no need to change it. I granted, some of the kids nowadays in the new generation love the shows that are out now for kids era.
Yeah.
Because they were born into it.
Exactly.
They don't really know. If they were to watch the other stuff, they would get bored. Because they're used to the wacky screaming and just nonsense.
They wouldn't be able to sit down and
really appreciate the story.
That's why I've started collecting the complete series of all the cartoons that I used to watch. Like I have all the original He-Man, all the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I plan on getting the Transformers, G.I. Joe, stuff like that. I plan on getting all the originals so that way I can have them and try to help the next generation a little bit.
Yeah, because our kids, whatever shows are out then, how nerfed they're going to be.
Yeah, really.
Kind of avoid being nerfed and just show them this.
I mean, they've gotten so bad about it that they're even changing cartoons that haven't been out for as long.
Yeah.
But this one has. I mean, Clifford, the big red dog.
God, yes.
Clifford was a great cartoon show.
Yeah.
And then they came and changed it. And, you're like, well, how bad can it be? Okay. In the original Clifford, the dogs could talk to each other. But the humans couldn't understand the dogs. It was just barking like it's supposed to be.
Because they're dogs.
Exactly. But in the new Clifford, for one, it looks like a 2-year-old had the help of an adult trying to draw it. And two, Emily Elizabeth and Clifford can actually talk to each other and understand each other.
Which doesn't make sense at all.
But no other human can understand the dogs. It's just Emily and Clifford.
It'd be like if John understood Garfield.
Yeah.
He's a cat.
I mean, with Curious George, it's a little different because the man in the yellow hat has had George for so long he can kind of understand him.
Yeah, basically that's body movements.
Yeah. But no, I mean, they literally talk to each other. It's just.
I still say that Curious George had a tail. I know I've seen him with a tail. He's a monkey. Why would they make a monkey without a tail?
I don't know. But that show has been around for a while.
A long
and
while.
thank goodness they have not really changed it too much.
Didn't they make a live action, well, not live action, an animated 3D kind of movie or about it?
What, Curious George?
Yeah.
Not that I can remember. Now, they just recently, not too long ago, came out with a Clifford.
Yeah, I saw
which
that.
they did pretty good on that. I
Yeah.
mean, wasn't too bad.
Maybe they were talking about it. I saw something on
They
Facebook.
may have. I mean, they may have talked about it and then decided to wait and see how well Clifford did. You know,
Maybe in the next couple of years.
could be.
Hopefully they keep it the same.
I mean, if they do at least as good as what Clifford did, it should be all right.
Hopefully.
Or possibly even Tom and Jerry.
That'd be
They
good.
came out with that live action Tom and Jerry movie,
That'd be good.
which that was a good movie. I like that.
The newest, the new generation of Ninja Turtles movie, the one with the little frogs.
Yeah, the big bodies and small heads.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the movie itself was good, but they ruined the design of the turtles.
Oh yeah.
They should have just made, a slight change of the original live action suits and just go from that.
Yeah, because the original 3 movies, the original 3 live action movies, the suits were great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they were perfect. They did just right off the bat. They just did it just right.
It looked exactly like a live action version of the cartoon.
Yes.
This is just like they had too much of the ooze.
Yeah, it's like what was it? The difference between the Shredder before and after the ooze.
Yeah.
You know.
He looked like a guy with a helmet on, and then he became Super Shredder.
And he had just, what was it? The knives and stuff everywhere.
Yeah, he was a big old giant cutlery set.
I mean, and that's what it looked like they did with the turtles. They went from the old ones to adding about 2 feet on their height.
And 4 on the width.
Yeah. And
they had so much going on
steroids.
Yeah, they had so much going on in their armor and clothing, whatever. They're turtles.
It was,
all they need is their shell and their weapon.
Yep. And the whole...
Oh, yeah, the bands and
stuff. But, other than that, that's all they need. They don't need any accessories. I mean,
It's like, thankfully, we talked about this before in previous video, how they did Sonic.
Yes.
First.
Yes.
The first Sonic they did was just ungodly terrifying. It looked like they took one of the things from Dr. Seuss and turned him into Sonic. It was just horrifying. Thank you all in the fan base. I was there too.
Definitely.
We fought. We fought hard and we won. Now, if we can band together for the next however many upcoming movies of any kind of movie related to anything that we grew up with, and they just demonize it, like they did Sonic, we have to fight again.
Yes.
We have to rise up.
Yes. Because they just don't get it.
They don't.
If what you are trying to make the movie off of is so great that you're trying to make the movie from it, try and stick to it.
Yeah.
Do not change it. Don't change the look. Don't change the characters. Don't, whatever. Don't.
As you've seen, from teens now and even adults now, what the shows we've watched as a kid or, when we were teens and they were young, they were a certain way. The fan base loved it.
Yes.
When we grew up, we kind of grew out of that stage, mostly. Some of us still kind of live in nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Nice to go back to. But the stuff now that you've created on top of that, is just drastically different, and it's in a bad way.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the next 30 years. What shows are going to be built off of those? It's going to be horrifying. I weep for those kids. They will never know. But it's people like us that, what's the word for it? Preserve the originality of the characters. Because the characters then are going to be so different. They're going to look at these and go, what happened? We'd like to know that too. We want to know too. Why is Robin throwing pies at everybody? We don't know. He's not even fighting a bad guy anymore. He just throws pies at everyone. This is how it used to be, though.
Yeah.
I guess the old saying goes with every generation, they don't make things like they used to.
No. And, you actually have to get to a certain age to be able to understand that.
Yeah.
Because up until you reach that age, you've got what you grow up on.
Mm-hmm.
What they're showing on TV at the time. You don't know about the stuff that came before. Unless you go to someone else's house and they're watching something else on DVD basically nowadays, because they don't show the stuff before anymore. It's just,
that's one thing that kind of frightens me, is a lot of younger people nowadays don't even know what DVDs are.
Yeah.
Makes me feel so old.
DVDs,
rotary phones, dial-up internet.
Yeah. Like an actual computer.
Yeah. A home phone that was attached to the wall.
Yes.
I watched a video recently of a dad showing his kids, they're probably 13, 14, and he showed them the rotary phone. We showed them a few things of his time, well, our time.
Yeah.
He showed them the rotary phone, and they're like, all right, I want you to, because the phone was still operational, because he still had the outlet, whatnot, the phone jack. I want you to call my cell phone and show me how to do it. They had no idea what to do. They hadn't even picked up the receiver yet. They were just like, is there buttons? No, there's no buttons. You take the first number, let's say our area code 910. You do 9 all the way around, click, let it go. 1, click, 0, click. And you keep going with the phone number until you're done. Beforehand, you take the receiver and put it up to your ear, wait for the dial tone. Then you do it.
Oh, gosh.
Then he showed or played a video or a sound video of the dial-up tone for internet. It was all staticky.
Yeah.
Beep. Oh, gee. What is that? Is it kind of a bomb? No. If you wanted to go on the internet, you had to wait a good 15 minutes for the computer to start up.
Yep. Listen to that the entire time.
and Lord knows many of us as youths trying to sneak onto the computer in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Without sound playing that can wake up all the neighbors. Yeah, it was impossible.
And also things they don't know about the 8-track tapes.
Gotcha.
The TVs when you don't have the remotes.
Yeah.
You actually have to go up to it and turn the dial or whatever. It's just
imagine somebody, between ages of 13 and 17. Because I'm sure the older, they can probably look it up and go, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But that age group goes up to one of those TVs or sits on the couch and go, where's the remote at?
Exactly.
What remote? You don't have a remote for your TV? I can go buy you one. No, I don't have one. Well, how do you change the channel? Go to the TV. Okay. See that knob? Which one? There's multiple knobs.
Yeah. Yep. You had the one for the channel, and then you had the one for the volume. Then you had buttons.
And these TVs
for like the color and stuff.
These TVs are nothing like what we have now, where they're like that thin.
Yeah, no.
These things were giant boxes made of wood.
If you tried to move one, it would take at least two grown people.
And sometimes 3 people.
Yes.
And it would still
Depending
be heavy.
yeah, depending on what size one you had.
My grandma used to have one when I was a little kid. This thing was massive. The screen, like the wood part, was probably like, about that thick on either side. And
Yeah.
then it had like that thick on the top, and the bottom was about the same thick. And the TV was like a little small thing in the middle. Every time we go over there, she'd be watching her soap operas.
Yeah. And unless you had rabbit ears or something like that, you got maybe
3 or 4 channels,
all of 5 channels probably,
which is crazy considering how many channels you have now.
Exactly.
You go to somebody's house that has the top of the line TV programming thing, over 1,000 channels.
Yeah. Yep. Back then, you had to watch what was on.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you had the rabbit ears and you put some aluminum foil on them to kind of help a little bit, you might could get your lucky 10 to 12 channels.
And if you ever wanted to play a video game, it's always channel 3.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Now you can just turn the game on, it's on. You don't have a channel.
Yes.
Well, you have to TV video thing or whatever, but a little different.
Yeah. But we kind of got off topic there.
Yeah.
Going down the road of nostalgia here.
Yeah.
Which
is kind of in the realm of it.
Yeah.
Of things how they used to be compared to there and now. They're actually making bringing back a reboot of SWAT Cats.
Really?
Yeah. Hopefully they don't change much of the show.
Hopefully not too much anyways. Because SWAT Cats was a good show.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Very underrated for its time.
Yes.
Which I'm glad they're making a reboot of it. What was that show? That was called Reboot. That 3D looking.
I want to say that was it.
Where like the people had like blue skin and green skin and all that.
I want to say that was it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Because they're making a reboot of that. A reboot. Which that was a fun show. It wasn't the greatest, but it was fun.
Yeah. But other than the shows we've already mentioned, you had like that. You had we say Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Silverhawks.
Yeah.
Silverhawks was another good one.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Yep.
Street Sharks.
Oh God, yeah. Street Sharks was great.
I'm really surprised that wasn't too violent for the youth.
Yeah.
Because everybody had sharp teeth.
And when you got just a couple years older or so, they came out with the Ronin Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a great show. Really good show. What was that one? The Beatles. It was kind of like
Beetleborgs.
Beetleborgs.
Yes. Yeah. That was Beetleborgs. I mean, yeah, it was kind of a rip-off of Power Rangers, but it was still good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's why it didn't really last.
Yeah.
Too long.
Because everyone was too hyped up for Power Rangers, and then Beetleborgs comes on. It's just different suits, but they're the same thing. I guess I'll watch it.
But it was still a good show.
Yeah.
It really was. But yeah, they all had the same thing in common. There was action, there was comedy.
Good versus evil.
Good versus evil. And you learned a lesson.
Exactly.
You
can't really learn a lesson in what's the show? Bubble Guppies. What the hell's a bubble guppy?
Oh God!
My nephew used to watch that show, and I just like, why?
Yeah.
Let me show you a real show.
Let me show you something like Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some shows.
Yes. But they nowadays, I'm surprised they were able to come out with that one 3-part Are You Afraid of the Dark movie thing.
Yeah.
Because of how people are reading into all of this crap, I'm surprised they didn't say, "Oh, the group's called the Midnight Society." That's
It's a
blah, blah,
cult.
blah blah blah. Yeah.
They worship the devil.
It's not. It's just
You teens going out in the middle of the woods, around a campfire, telling scary stories.
exactly.
It's called camping. Does that mean every single group of family or group of people go camping are cultists?
Yeah.
But they're worshiping a devil out there. He has marshmallows on a stick.
They're telling a ghost story. They're telling a scary story to have fun. That's it.
People read too much into everything now.
They do. I mean, it's...
What was it? I read something a few months ago that somebody said the Powerpuff Girls was a satanic show. 3 little girls fight crime. They fight a monkey. They fight who happens to say his name a lot. Well, they fight like a devil guy, yeah, called him. I mean, obviously the innuendo's there. He is the devil, but they win. Why would a satanic show have the devil losing?
Yeah.
Some people just don't think right.
And I mean, it's just...
Stop nerfing things, please.
But yet the video games are getting so much worse.
Oh yeah.
You're basically just making the cartoons where you can actually learn stuff. Kids can actually learn stuff. You're making them just ridiculous.
Yeah. But
the video games, they just get more violent and gruesome and gory and, whatever. How does that make sense?
What's ironically enough, on video games, there are ratings on there for age groups.
Yeah.
Most parents nowadays, I mean, they're video games. They're obviously not real life stuff. I mean, some idiots like to reenact certain things, like in Grand Theft Auto, Pokemon Go. That was a whole thing.
Yeah.
But with the ratings on there, they still allow their kids to play those things. Yet they complain about television shows.
Exactly.
How, he can't watch that? Well, he's just took some guy's head off in Mortal Kombat. Where's the line here,
Yeah.
Just...
He just set a claymore and blew like 2 guys apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get that, parents are going to raise their kids how they're going to raise. It's not my job to tell you. I can't say anything like that because I have no kids, for one, and 2, they're your kids. You raise them how you raise them.
But just to us,
it looks kind of hypocritical.
Yeah, exactly. You let them play a game where they can just destroy anything and everything, which the game is not real. Which is, you won't let them watch a TV show, which is also not real, with even less stuff happening than in the video game.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, they should watch a show where Robin throws a pie instead of fighting the Joker or whoever. And that's it. You're like, that's a good show.
Yeah.
Next day, he's in the room playing Mortal Kombat. You hear blood splatter everywhere. And you're like, he's having fun. There's no lessons learned
in
anything now.
Stuff, no.
The most lessons you're going to learn now is if kids are going to watch like Lifetime shows. I mean, even then, they're all Christmas love stories.
Yeah. I mean, there are still some shows that teach lessons.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have Sesame Street. Yeah. You still have the PBS Kids channel called Rudel. And just about, I'm going to say, every single show that comes on there.
Yeah.
Every single cartoon, it teaches a lesson or teaches you something.
Yeah, my nephew loves that channel.
Like Wild Kratts. It teaches you all about animals. Every episode, it's a different animal. They teach you about what it does, how it does it, and all of that. You actually learn a good bit You know,
It's kind of like the modern day Reading Rainbow and
Yes.
Mr. Rogers kind of thing.
yes, both of those were really good
Oh
shows.
yeah. Thankfully they didn't nerf those. Changed them up anyway. See, if kids nowadays had shows like that, it would be just they'd learn a lot more.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean they talk about well, my kids already counting, you know, counting and saying his ABCs and stuff at this age or whatever. Well, that's good, but I mean they could learn more.
Yeah. Every day. They learn something
Exactly. And have them outside more.
Yeah. Let them explore.
Kids nowadays they just stay inside on the video games or their phones or their iPads or the TV.
Yeah.
Those four things are basically all kids know just about these days.
Yeah, our parents just, probably about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 8, they go, I go outside.
Yep.
And you don't come home until the streetlights come on.
That's it. Well, you came home
for lunch.
Something to eat for lunch, but
you're right back outside.
Yep.
If you're thirsty, get the hose.
Exactly. A
lot of things have changed.
Yes. And it's only going to keep changing for the worse until something happens.
I saw a post on Facebook the other day. I bet you can't remember the last time you went outside to play. When it became the last time you went outside to play. And I thought about it, I was like, holy shit. I don't remember the last time that was the last time I went out to play. It just sort of just didn't happen anymore. Oh.
And then the sad part about it is that does happen unless you're one of the generation that was made to go outside and play all day, which you enjoyed it, but still, you grew up that way, and then you have kids or little nieces and nephews or cousins or whatever, and then you'll go outside and play with them. You'll get them to go outside.
Yeah.
And with them going outside, you'll go outside. So it never really truly ends.
It's like a domino effect. Everyone goes outside to play.
Exactly.
And there's so many things you can do. You can pretend to be everything.
Oh, gosh, yes.
When I was 6 or 7, would have been 7, went out to ride my bike and whatnot, and some of my friends in the neighborhood, the way the neighborhood was set up is our street was here, and then around the corner, around the corner was a cul-de-sac with just woods in the back area.
Yeah.
We used to pretend that like King Kong or some kind of giant monster was coming through the woods, and we just like right over there, it's coming, and just race around back. It gets the brain juices flowing when you're outside, creating scenarios and putting little, cards in the back of your bike to make a motorcycle.
Yeah, you use your imagination.
You build a tree house or a little fort.
Yeah.
And just have, clubs and whatnot and secret codes. The mind grows with that kind of creativity.
Exactly.
So, sitting there doing this and just, I'm winning the game. This is great. There's no learning there. It's just zombification. Wait till you're older to do that.
Yeah.
It'll give you a real reason to escape reality. Just, all right, had a long day at work. Let's escape for an hour and a half. That's the perfect time.
That's actually today. I think it was a customer. We were talking about how there was a song playing on the radio. I can't remember what it was. We was talking about how I can't wait to grow up. And, that's how every kid is. I can't wait to grow up. I can't wait to grow up. Well, then you grow up and you realize, I wish I was a kid again.
Yeah. I remember telling my parents in different arguments we've had, I was when I was a kid, that I'd be like, I can't wait till I'm older so I can move out and da-da-da-da-da. And I look back on it, I was like, why? I was stupid back then. I was so stupid.
Yep. Because you think you're gonna grow up and and move out and be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want. No consequences, no, whatever.
That's not how the world works.
No.
You got to pay for everything.
Exactly. You move out, you've got to pay for everything that you want, which means you've got to get a job. And unless you get a job working at home or doing something you just absolutely love to do every single day, it's just not.
Yeah,
it's not what you think it would be. Yeah.
And sometimes, not often, but sometimes stressful jobs can be, good jobs.
Yeah. I mean,
it depends on the environment, the people you work with.
Unless you work for yourself and just about pretty much by yourself, you're going to have every job has stress.
Yeah.
Or something that you don't like about it or something.
Especially if you're in, sales and whatnot, and you're by yourself and you have your own product and you have to create thousands of orders.
Yeah.
Items to put on orders. That can be very stressful. I think we jumped topic again.
Yeah, we did.
Stop nerfing things.
Yeah, we once again we got back to the topic, then we got back off of it again.
Yeah. There's just so much to talk about.
There is.
And
there is. And you know what? I think that'll be it for today.
Yep.
If you have any certain things that you would like to hear our opinions on or hear us talk about, let us know.
Yeah, we will talk about anything and everything.
Yep. Put them in the comments and let us know.
Even if it's controversial.
Oh yeah, definitely. Those are the most fun ones.
And I'll start up by saying, this is just a joke, don't take me seriously, but women, right? No. It's a joke. I'm not seriously saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. But, women can come up with some of the most controversial stuff.
Yeah, women are creative. They're intelligent, they're creative, controversial.
Yeah, that's it.
They're very nice. We like women. Women are great.
Before we get into anything there. Yeah.
True, because you're married, so.
Yeah, that's not.
You said what in the video? It was just a joke. It was satire.
Yeah.
But seriously, though, we're not against women.
No, God, no.
Anyways, Jesters, we hope you enjoyed this video for today. Again, like you said, just if you have any ideas, leave it in the comments. We'll talk about anything and everything.
Yep. We'd like to know what y'all want.
Yeah. Even if you have any questions, we will delve into it and find the answers for you.
Yep.
And then talk all about that. If I can speak correctly. Yeah. You all have a wonderful day.
See y'all later.